Success Stories. Healing Does Come. Promise by HopefulMe on the benzobuddies.org forums. It has been 4 years since my last dose of Xanax. I feel alive and calm and just finished a 2-mile run, and for me, it took a long, long time. My story started with extreme adrenal fatigue and hormonal imbalance, so there was all sorts of stuff going on with this girl. Stress was a major component in my life, and it depleted my progesterone. I had no idea what was going on, as I was increasingly irritated, had trouble sleeping, and felt overwhelmed most of the time. My son was 2 when this started, and he is now 7. I have 3 stepdaughters that I have raised as well, who have issues about their mother, hence the stress. I went to the doctor feeling extremely anxious, depressed, and just worn out, exhausted. I got progesterone cream and Xanax for sleep and as needed for anxiety. Well, my body soaked up the progesterone, and I loved the Xanax. But no one told me about what it could do to me, of course. I exercised too much, a big no-no with adrenal fatigue, and didn't feed my body properly. So I still wasted away, and then my body was addicted to the Xanax. I was more anxious and needing more to calm me. My ears started ringing, and my adrenaline flooded my system 24/7. No sleep. Doctor increased Xanax again. I started to feel crazy. This went on for 8 months. Finally, in the middle of the night, as I reached for another Xanax, it dropped to the floor, spilling, and I felt I was being told, "These are making you sick. Stop." Yes, I believe God was intervening, or the higher power. I have a Christian belief. So next day I researched Xanax and was floored to find that all my symptoms were listed. So on top of severe adrenal fatigue, I had to get off Xanax, and I was to have no sleep really for 2 years. My sister and best friends are both nurses. They said I would feel uncomfortable for a while, but going off shouldn't be an issue. So I went off cold turkey. Luckily I didn't have seizures, but the anxiety and burning through my body was unbearable. I also went through a lot of brain changes, severe fog, unable to laugh or have any humor. I couldn't read or retain anything. I couldn't enjoy anything. Not sex, not a hot bath, not playing with my son, nothing. I felt like an empty vessel, void of life. I decided to taper then, but did so quickly, thinking it would be all over after it got out of my system. But that's when the healing for me began. And I also knew, besides benzo buddies, no one would understand anything I was going through. Time would pass foggy in front of me, and I couldn't think. I would wake up after a slight dozing and feel so depressed. I would stare at the kitchen knives, wanting to end my suffering. I would pray for help, and though I couldn't feel my God, thoughts of my son, husband, and my stepkids who needed me came to my mind, and I pushed through. I went day by day like this. I couldn't be alone. The fear of being alone was horrible. I felt like an infant who needed her mother's affection all the time. I thought of my brain like this, as if it needed to heal and become an adult again. And turning corners of healing happened, very slowly, but it happened. I made myself do things to distract myself. Playdates for my son, walking when I wasn't exhausted. Volunteered at my son's school, and lunch dates with friends. And I healed. I joined a Bible study for women, and I had bad days where I couldn't stop crying, and I wondered if healing would come. And I healed. I took all my vitamin supplements and ate the healthiest diet, still do, ever in my life. I focused on my important relationships in my life, and I healed. I was finally able to be all alone without any anxiety this past summer, and the fog is gone. I can read and think. The depression is gone. My creativity is back. I enjoy bubble baths and sex and chirping birds and sunshine on my face. I can exercise again. I know my issues were a combination of things. The brain is a complex thing, and each of us heal at different rates. And I know all the hormones and neurotransmitters work together to make us who we are. But the body can heal, and you will get there. I can write all these things to do, but each body is so different. Listen to it. Take care of it. Laugh if you can, as much as you can. Eat nourishing foods and try to focus on what's important to you. You are important. You are here on this earth for a reason and a purpose, so don't give up.